Good morning, everyone. Okay, so in this class, we are starting with the chapter that is chapter number 18, India Physical Features. Okay, so in this chapter, we are going to understand regarding what comprises India, what is the physical part of India, about the physical part of India. So the physical part of India is divided into six categories. The first one is the northern mountains. So you know that we have a huge range of Himalayan mountains that covers the northern part of India. Then we have the northern plains, okay, the rivers like Ganga, Brahmaputra, and Indus River. It actually makes a plain area which actually helps in farming, okay. So that comprises the northern plain area. Then we have Great Indian Desert in Rajasthan. We have Peninsular Plateau, means the south part of India is actually called a plateau because it is covered with the water from the three sides. Then we have islands. We have Andaman and Nicobar Island, Lakshadweep Island, which are also part of India only. And then we have a huge coastline. That is why the coastal plain area is there. We have the eastern coastal area, and then we have the western coastal area. So these are part of India only. Okay. So these are major important six parts of India. Now, before talking one by one about all these physical features, let us understand about India only. Okay, so as you know that India is part of Asia. Okay, Asia, which is the biggest continent, India is part of Asia only. So you can see that here we have Indian Ocean. Okay, and India is on its northern part. Okay, so we can say that on the head of Indian Ocean we have India. Okay, now we know that we have a huge chain of Himalayan mountains which actually separate five countries like India, Pakistan, Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh from the rest of the Asian countries. And that is why this area, comprising all these five countries, is called as Indian subcontinent. Okay, because this area is actually getting separated from the Himalayan mountain ranges from the rest of the part of the Asia. That is why this is called as Indian subcontinent. Then we also know that the Tropic of Cancer divides India into two parts. You can see in this map that this is our Tropic of Cancer line. Okay, and it's divided India into the two parts. Now this part which is below the Tropic of Cancer is called as tropical area, and the above is called a temperate. You have read in previous chapters also. Okay, so half part of India is tropical in nature and half part is called as temperate. Okay, that is why some of the people will talk about like India is having a subtropical nature. Okay, India is having subtropical kind of a climate. Okay, then India is divided uh, at 82 degree 30 minutes east longitude, which is actually crossing Uttar Pradesh. That is why our IST, that is the Indian Standard Time, which is followed by the whole India, is 82 degree 30 minutes east. Means whatever time is there in Uttar Pradesh at that time will be followed in the whole country. Okay, so that is our IST, Indian Standard Time. Then India is that area which is actually covered by water from three sides. That is why it is called as a peninsula area. We know that we have Arabian Sea to the west. Here we have Arabian Sea. Here we have Bay of Bengal, and here we have Indian Ocean. That is why this area is called as a peninsular India. And because it is the half part of India is a peninsular part, that is why we have a huge coastline also. And there are so many benefits of having a huge coastline to the country. Okay, so now we are going to talk about all these six features which we have read in the flow chart. The first feature is the northern mountains. Okay, this whole area, this whole brown part which you can see over here is actually northern mountain. Okay, the northern mountain is, as I told you, separates India from the rest of the Asian countries, and not only India but Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh also. Okay, and that is why, and Pakistan also, that is why it is called as Indian subcontinent. Now we have three Himalayan ranges: the Greater Himalayan ranges, in which Mount Everest is there, this line, and then we have the middle mountain ranges, and then we have the lesser mountain ranges. They are called by different names, and we are going to talk about one by one. The first one is the Greater Himalayas, which is also called as Himadri. Okay, Himadri or Greater Himalayas, both are same. Okay, now the Himadri are the highest mountain ranges in which we have Mount Everest, and most of the part is covered by Nepal. So the height of the mountain ranges which you will find in Himadri is 6,000 meter below above sea level. Okay, so whenever we are measuring the height, we measure from the deepest point of the sea to the top of the mountain. So that is 6,000 meters. And because it is very difficult to cross, that is why there are so many passes in order to cross these mountains. So passes are there. Then the second mountain range after these are the Great Himalayas, and then we have Lesser Himalayas. Okay, the Middle Himalayas are also called as Lesser Himalayas, or they are also called as Himachal. So the Middle Himalayas are also called as Himachal. They are less in height in comparison to the Himadri, and their height is, in average between 1500 to 3500 meters above sea level, and they are also called as Lesser Himalayas. Okay, and this area is very much famous for many scenic hill stations like Pahalgam, Gulmarg, Shimla. Okay, and Himachal also. And lastly, we have the outer Himalayas. Okay, the southernmost part of the Himalayas. Okay, which does not have much height in comparison to the Himadri and Himachal. They're called as Shivaliks. Okay, they're called as Shivalik. You can see this lesser mountain Himalayan ranges. This is called as Shivaliks. Okay, and they have an average height of 15,050 meters above sea level. Okay, and here you will find many marshy foothills. Means foothills means the small hills. Here you will find certain kind of greenery. That is why it is called as marshy foothills. And a lot of village people go over there in order to send their animals for grazing the fields and all. Okay, because here you will find some water also, and here they can do some kind of agriculture in the summer season also. Okay, so this is about the Great Himalaya. That is your first physical feature of India, and it comprises three mountain ranges. First of all, we have Greater Himalayas, Himadri. Then you have Lesser Himalayas or Middle Himalayas, which are called as Himachal. And then you have the outermost Himalayas or the Lesser Himalayas, which are called as Shivaliks. Okay, and then the second the physical feature of India is the northern plains. As you can say, the plain is the area which is very plain. And here, because India is, drained by so many rivers, that is why this area is, very much fertile, because there is a deposition of alluvial soil which is very good for farming. And most of the farming is done in this area only. Okay. So this area is actually uh, derived from three most important rivers. The first is Satluj River. Satluj River is nothing but one of the tributaries of Indus River. Indus River, which actually originates from the Mount Kailash, okay, and enters into Jammu and Kashmir. It has many tributaries, and one of the tributaries is Satluj. So Satluj is actually, giving water to most of the part of India, okay, and it flows into the through the Pakistan. Then we have Ganga, and Ganga has many tributaries also, which is actually covering the central part of India, and actually providing a lot of alluvial soil over there. And then we have the Brahmaputra area, Brahmaputra river, which is actually draining the easternmost part of India. You can see over here in this map. In this map you can see, so this is the peninsular area part. In the map you can see that we have Satluj river over here, we have Satluj river over here, okay, and then we have Ganga flowing from here from Uttarakhand, Okay, and Ganga has many tributaries. We have Chambal, we have Betwa, we have Yamuna, which is one of the longest tributary of Ganga. Then we have Gomati and Son, and many tributaries are there. And these rivers are actually helping in making fertile the area, the central area of India. And then we have in the eastern part we have Brahmaputra river. Okay, the Brahmaputra river actually originates from Tibet, from Mount Kailash. Okay, so this is here, this is the origination point of Brahmaputra river, and then it flows like this and enters it from the Arunachal Pradesh and enters into India and actually helps in draining the easternmost part of India. Okay, so this is about northern plain. So these are the three important rivers which are actually helps in making fertile these areas and covers all the northern part of India. Okay, now and that is why the whole northern plain area is divided into three areas. The first is the Indus plain area. Okay, means this area from Punjab till here it is called as Indus plain area. Then we have Ganga plain, because this area is actually covered by river Ganga, and this area is covered by Brahmaputra. So the whole northern plain is actually divided into three areas. Okay, and these three areas, they have important rivers, like we have Indus and Satluj, and we have Ganga river and its tributaries, and then we have Brahmaputra river and its tributaries, in order to make it fertile. And this area is actually helping in improving the farming, and the production of farming over here is the biggest in India. Okay, and then so the Himalayan area, they stretch from Punjab in the west to the Assam in the east and are almost flat everywhere. Okay, now the total length of this area is 2400 kilometers, starting from the Punjab towards the Assam. Okay, and it is the most fertile and densely populated plain area. You know that the most population there is in UP and Bihar, which is actually a part of the northern plain area only. Okay, so because so many rivers are draining over here, that is why these rivers, when they drain, they deposit alluvium and they help in making the area fertile. And when the area is fertile, then you know that the farming will be good too. Okay, so in this video we have understood two important physical features of India. The first is the northern mountain and the second one is the northern plain. The next physical feature will be the Great Indian Desert, which we will cover into the next video. Thank you so much.